Annie, the fortune teller, found herself in a difficult situation when a newly engaged bride came to her for a reading. To Annie's horror, she saw the bride as a decaying corpse, indicating that a terrible fate awaited her. However, Annie chose not to reveal the truth to the couple. Despite her ability to foresee the future, Annie knew that some things couldn't be changed. In fact, trying to intervene could sometimes lead to unnecessary trouble. She had learned this lesson the hard way when a battered woman sought her help, asking if her abusive husband would eventually kill her. Annie had told the woman that her husband was a coward who resorted to violence but lacked the courage to commit murder. She advised the woman to seek a divorce as soon as possible. However, her good intentions backfired when the woman's husband showed up at Annie's home that very night, accusing her of trying to ruin their marriage. The enraged man not only called Annie a witch, but also threatened to kill her and her 3 children. Although Annie knew the man was just trying to scare them, she couldn't shake the ominous feeling that had settled in her gut. A few days later, Annie woke up in the middle of the night, feeling someone choking her. At first, she thought it was the man seeking revenge, but as the suffocating sensation intensified, she realized there was no one else in the room. It had been just a nightmare, and the clock read 1:28 a.m. The next morning, Annie learned that the bride had mysteriously disappeared. After 4 days of searching, the police had found no leads. Desperate for answers, the bride's father turned to Annie for help, knowing that she was not only a well-known fortune teller in town, but also a friend of the groom, Vian. Annie agreed to perform a reading, despite the skepticism of the police officer present. As she lightly placed her hand on the tarot cards, images began to flash in her mind. She described a general location with fences, pillars, and many white flowers. The police officer scoffed at the vague description, likening the search to finding a needle in a haystack. His mocking attitude made it difficult for Annie to concentrate, and the reading had to be cut short. That night, Annie had a vivid dream. She found herself in an unfamiliar place, walking along a quiet path lined with white flowers. As she plucked one of the blooms, it withered instantly. Then she saw a blood-stained chain wrapped around a dead tree.